The gold ring of the middle path. In a land of emerald valleys and jagged peaks, King Kavi ruled with a heart as volatile as a summer storm. When the harvests were plentiful, his laughter shook the palace walls, and his pride reached for the clouds. But when the rains failed, or a border skirmish was lost, he fell into a darkness so deep that he could not find the strength to lift his head. He was a prisoner to the shifting winds of fortune. King Kavi hated his own instability. "I am the ruler of a kingdom," he whispered to the silence of his chamber. "Yet I cannot rule my own mind. I am a leaf blown by the wind of events." He realized that his joy was fragile because he feared its end, and his sorrow was heavy because he feared it would last forever. He needed a way to remain steady, no matter what the world threw at him. He summoned the wisest men and women from the corners of his realm. "I need a talisman," Kavi commanded. "I need something that will ground me when I am too high and lift me when I am too low. It must be small enough to carry always and powerful enough to change my very soul." The sages whispered and debated for 3 days, but none could offer a solution that satisfied the king's restless heart. Finally, an old monk named Oral stepped forward. He had lived for many years in a simple hut in the forest, watching the seasons turn. Oral held out a plain, polished gold ring. "This is not an ordinary ring, Your Majesty," Oral said softly. "Its power lies not in its metal, but in the truth hidden within it. Wear it always, but promise me you will only read the inscription when your heart is most troubled or most proud." Kavi took the ring and looked at its smooth surface. He saw no writing on the outside. He felt the weight of it on his finger and thanked the sage. "Remember," Oral cautioned, "life is like the river that flows behind the palace. It never stays the same. To find peace, you must flow with it, not fight against it." Kavi nodded, though he did not yet truly understand the monk's words. Years passed, and a great shadow fell over the kingdom. A powerful enemy invaded, and despite Kavi's courage, his armies were scattered. To save his life, Kavi had to flee into the mountains. He found himself alone, hiding in a damp, cold cave while the wind howled outside. He felt the familiar weight of paralysis. He had lost his crown, his people, and his pride. He felt like a failure who would never rise again. In the gloom of the cave, the gold ring glinted. Kavi remembered Orel's promise. He pulled the ring from his finger and held it close to his eyes. In the dim light, he read the words engraved on the inside. "This, too, shall pass." A sudden stillness washed over him. He realized that this defeat, as painful as it was temporary. It was merely a moment in time. With a new sense of calm, he began to plan his return. Kavi did not stay in the cave. He moved through the villages, gathering those who were lost and weary. He led them with a steady hand, neither rushing nor despairing. Slowly, through hard work and patience, they reclaimed their land. Kavi was no longer the volatile king of the past. He was a leader who understood that every struggle was a step toward a new beginning. The day came when the enemy was finally gone, and the kingdom was restored. A massive festival was held in the capital. The streets were lined with flowers, and the air was thick with the scent of roasting spices and the sound of trumpets. Kavi stood on the palace dais, and the people cheered his name until the very ground vibrated. He felt a surge of immense pride, a feeling that he was invincible, and that this glory would last forever. Just as the ego began to swell within him, Kavi felt the ring on his finger. He looked down at the gold band and whispered the words to himself, "This too shall pass." The arrogance vanished. He didn't feel sad, but he felt present. He looked at the cheering people not as his subjects to rule, but as souls sharing a fleeting moment of joy. He smiled, knowing that while the festival would end, the peace he found in the middle would remain.